Hi guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. Now, MMA legend Jorge Masvidal has just retired. He literally just retired 3 weeks ago on April the 8th to a standing ovation at UFC 287. Now, most people would be celebrating their retirement on a cruise with champagne, spending time with friends and family. Jorge has always been a proud invested family man and now a businessman with his own MMA promotion called Game Bread Promotion. And in fact, one of his events is now happening tonight, May the 5th. But now Jorge may need to put his world on pause as he searches to find out the truth concerning an incident with his father, Jorge Masvidal Snr.
The father of former UFC fighter Jorge Masvidal has now been arrested in connection with a shooting.
Yeah, it happened at his home in Southwest Miami-Dade. Let's get to Local 2 News reporter Trent Kelly, who is joining us live from the scene with new details. Trent?
Yeah, that's right, Alexis. Jorge Masvidal's father, Jorge Masvidal Snr, arrested and booked into jail by police very early this morning on one count of attempted second-degree murder. That shooting happening right here at his son's sprawling 6,800 square foot property just outside of Kendall. Masvidal Snr now accused of shooting a man in the arms following a fight in this home's kitchen. That victim taken to the hospital with Masvidal Snr now sitting in jail.
We received phone calls of a person who had been shot. Our units responded.
The father of a former UFC fighter facing an attempted second-degree murder charge after he's accused of shooting a man in the arms during a fight inside his son's Southwest Miami-Dade home. Police arresting 67-year-old Jorge Masvidal Snr on Thursday after officers found a man suffering from 2 gunshot wounds on the Kendall area property belonging to his son, Jorge Masvidal Jr.
They were able to get the other members of the residents out of the home without incident.
According to the arrest report, detectives say the victim told officers he was shot by Masvidal Snr while standing in the home's kitchen yesterday afternoon. After obtaining a search warrant, investigators later found a .38 caliber revolver inside one of the home's kitchen cabinet.
So, guys, that's the basics. The news report is the basic outline of what happened. Mr. Masvidal Sr. has also had incidences with the law in Cuba. He's also used those circumstances to keep his son, Jorge Jr., on the straight and narrow. Jorge explained this to Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. Let's take a look.
Skip. Okay. Can I ask about your father?
Yeah.
He has been to jail as well.
Yeah, well, he's a very strong instrument in my life and my career. I grew up visiting him in the penitentiary since a very young age. Why did he go to jail? For drug charges.
Okay.
And his first sentence was 22 years. He did about 18 of those years. So I grew up visiting him in there.
18 years straight?
18 years straight.
Wow.
Yeah. 18 and some change, because then after that he's not American, so he's Cuban, so he doesn't get deported, so he's in another type of system for like another year. So really did a little bit more than that. But through this whole process, I grew up with him. I was in this setting. He would tell me things that from that side of the world don't even know, from that dark underground world, and how not to get there. And he would just lecture my mind of, once you get here, my son, this is quicksand. You're not going to do anything in life. You're not going to get a job. You're not going to So it's very ingrained in me, going in the system, seeing how messed up it is, and then hearing it from him, not to end up there. So I got to thank my dad, you know, because if it wasn't for him, who knows, maybe I would have done some of the dumber things in life that I said, no, I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm just going to spend my Friday nights at the gym and get better at my technique. And 16 years later, I'm here, man.
Okay, now I'm not going to judge Jorge Masvidal Sr. yet until we know the circumstances surrounding this shooting. However, can you imagine the confusion, the devastation and heartbreak that the whole Masvidal family must be going through? Can you also imagine what Jorge Jr. is going through right now. Throughout his life, his childhood and teenage years, he's visited his father in prison with visits and calls. In his early 20s, he got his father back in person. They nurtured their father and son relationship over 15 years. His father lives with him. He's had his dad in his corner his whole MMA career. Jorge Sr. has supported his son all the way. He watched his son become a millionaire in the UFC and become one of the UFC's international top MMA stars. Last month, on April the 8th, Jorge then retires in style. Jorge Jr. retires in style in his hometown with his family and his friends watching, and the former President Trump screaming his name. So his MMA career gets tied up in a lovely little bow, and he's able to become a businessman, become the Cuban Dana White, if you will, and start his own MMA organization called Game Bread Promotions. And now MMA stars who have cut ties with the UFC and now going to his promotion, and he's setting up awesome fights there, establishing his name in the MMA promotion scene. And now this happens. This is absolutely shocking, but of course I will definitely be keeping up with this case. So guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.